Yes, it is. Alrighty.
Bless you.
That was a cough, not a sneeze, but okay.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So, I was so angry earlier on today that I threw my keyboard against the wall and parts went everywhere.
Okay, like keys and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really when the shift hit the fan.
Hey! A PG version of that joke. That's very good. Oh, lovely. Hello and welcome to episode 45 of That's Class, a podcast about things we find class, hosted by two of your favourite class holes. As always, I am Rory. Simple as not, I am afraid you will find for a mind maker upper to make up his mind, kid. Joined by Duncan from there to here and here to there. Funny things are everywhere. Malcolm, are we now Dr. Zeus?
It is Dr. Zeus.
It is Dr. Zeus.
It is Dr. Zeus.
Wow, that was
just
almost...
looking for something random.
I was impressed that I said that, you know?
Yeah,
That's
I
quite
was
the
kind of
tongue
looking
twister.
for tongue. Yeah, I was looking for tongue twister. I was thinking,
Yeah.
where could I get them? I thought, I know there is a man who is known for.
He is, yes. A
rhymes.
man we all know, a doctor we grew up with. It was funny, actually. I wanted to start off this episode a bit like stupidly intense, and I forgot. But because I heard we were doing it today at the surf school, just like hey, welcome to the surf school, yeah. And it's such like a radio voice, like hey, welcome to That's Class, episode 45. It's me, your host Rory, with Duncan Malcolm as always.
Need a soundboard for that. Like,
Yeah, I know.
all the preloaded sounds.
Pew 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 pew.
Air horn.
DJ. Classic high school keyboards. Eddie also isn't here because his penis injury hasn't gotten better. So he has added things to the chat, right? Did he add things?
Yes. We asked his opinions on many a thing.
Yes, he's adding
for
things.
Supplying comment.
We'll jump them in. We'll put them into our comments. But welcome to the podcast, everyone.
God, sound's going all over the place today.
We post
Super
these. Duncan's having weird sound issues, but we
it's super sensitive today. Hear that? I've gone deaf. I'm just talking really loudly. I can go back here now.
You can, yes.
All right. Okay.
Who knows what's happening with your microphone, Duncan? But we'll find out when I edit it.
Yeah, you have to bet. I think you will.
Yeah, and I edit these hopefully before every Monday morning, which is when your podcast will be out wherever you find podcasts. Give us a rating. Give us a review.
12 inches away from the microphone.
A solid 12. That's what my girlfriend
solid 12,
says.
yeah.
This is 12.
Solid 12 inches. Yeah.
For all you people watching, confirm that this is 12. Write to us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, right to us. Yeah.
Anyway,
shall we for scale?
Shall we go straight into this episode? It's kicking off really well.
100%. These are the best ones when it kicks off well like this.
Yes. Let's go straight into the mix. We recorded on Wednesdays now. Today isn't a Wednesday, but that's beside the point.
Close enough.
We just missed out on the Comic-Con, and big things happen in Comic-Con. Big things happen in terms of all sorts of things, but the biggest thing that everyone's talking about is Marvel, and we are going to talk about how we're actually not that fussed by it.
Don't care
for
anymore.
For a podcast that's called That's Class. It's not so class anymore.
No, it's funny because we've defended it and we've watched a lot of it and we've talked about a lot of it, and even we've reached our breaking point with it, I think.
Yeah.
It's just strange. So they announced their next set of films and their next set of things and next set of TV shows, and we grew up a lot with the original, 10 years worth. Because we were probably just in that right demographic for it.
It was 2003 Iron Man came out, I think.
2008.
Oh, okay. I mean, we were 17, yeah.
2008, 15.
2008? I was 17.
I'd have been 15 or 16.
Yeah.
In 2008.
anyway.
Maybe. Who knows? Still, correct demographic for these sort of things.
Yeah.
And it was good. I enjoyed it.
It was
and
a good time.
It was good times. Class time, they were.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, we had Endgame. And then, obviously, we started off on Phase 4. Well, they concluded that, and they said that was Phases 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then, for the listeners, they then announced Phase 4, which we're currently in. And then they were going to do Phase 4, 5, and 6 as another sort of trilogy set of stories that were going to conclude with another sort of Endgame-esque film.
Yeah.
And they started off with Phase 4, and basically we've sat here a couple of times on the podcast and said we don't quite understand where this is going.
Yes.
And now we do.
Kind of.
Still unclear.
We don't know where the story's going, but we know what other movies and other stories will come.
Okay, so they're not calling this the multiverse saga, funnily enough. It's not like they've mentioned that word at all throughout
every movie that's come out
everything
since.
that's come out so far. Okay, so this next one. So this Phase 4 finishes with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Talk about that later because there's a trailer for that. But Ant-Man 3, Quantumania.
Echo, who I don't know what that's about.
Echo is about the girl that was in Hawkeye, the villain, the prosthetic leg and was deaf.
Oh yeah,
Deaf
from
or
the TV
mute?
show. From the TV show, she was deaf.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Because she used sign language.
Yeah, so she's deaf, and apparently Daredevil might be in that.
Sick.
Makes sense. Echo, and then there's Secret Invasion. Loki Season 2. Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3. Volume 3.
Yep.
Blade. Spin back round to the ones that we're looking forward to. Blade. Daredevil Born Again, which I believe you're more excited for than probably the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Ironheart.
Captain America New World Order. The Marvels. Agatha Coven of Chaos was called House of Darkness.
Yeah, they changed the name,
podcast,
right?
The last time we did a podcast, I'm pretty sure I called it House of Darkness, which is what it was before Comic-Con happened. And then the Thunderbolts is their kind of wrap-up film.
Every time I read that, I read Thundercats, but it's Thunderbolts.
Thundercats.
I really wish it was Thundercats. That would have been
so
sick.
do I. There's a lot of people out there who be like, yes, Thundercats. There's a lot of 80s children possibly going, yes, Thundercats.
That's what
we had a remake of the Thundercats as well when we were in the 90s, late 90s.
We had a 90s version, yeah.
Yeah, there was a remake of it. Anyway, so which ones you interested in? Any of these take your fancy?
So Loki season 2 I'm interested in because I enjoyed Loki season 1. Some of it was actually pretty good. I enjoy Tom Hiddleston's acting, and I enjoy what's his face. Wow.
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson, there he is. But at the same time, it has its flaws. But Loki, in my opinion, was the one that it introduced Khan, and it's the one thing that I'm actually going, oh, I see what's happening. You know, that's kind of the one thing that's all of this has happened with all these movies in Phase 4. Loki has gone, this is what's happening. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah, except it's on a Disney Plus TV show, which
Exactly.
not a lot of people have watched.
No. And also it has the budget of a Disney Plus TV show, which we've now come to terms with after Obi-Wan Kenobi, that they should probably pump some more money into. Moving on from that. I'm excited about Blade because Blade looks cool. And I saw the originals and it was super 90s and super 2000s. And
they're excellent. They're
excellently shit and excellent.
No, they're just brilliant. I think they maybe not have aged brilliantly, but
yeah.
No, well, he was the first black superhero.
Exactly.
Wesley Snipes.
But then,
I don't know where everyone's getting this. Black Panther was the first black Marvel black superhero.
Well, I think because
the first Marvel black superhero was Blade.
But then not a lot of people knew it was a Marvel IP, you know?
True.
They didn't really push it as a comic book.
It's just funny when you kind of think about it like that.
Yeah.
But surely that would be Blade then.
The last two that I'm excited for are Captain America or the New World Order, just because is that about, well, I don't know if I'm excited for that because now is it Falcon?
Yes.
Because immediately
it's going to be Anthony Mackie is.
Because when I read that, I went, yes, Captain America, and completely forgot what's happened. Like, I genuinely thought it was Steve Rogers again. So now, actually, maybe now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm not that looking forward to that. But the one thing I am looking forward to, and you mentioned it, is Daredevil Born Again. Because my mate Lloyd, I met him on my birthday when I went to London this year. And we stopped off at a comic book store that he goes to quite a lot. And he was like giving me some little info on which comic books to start with and what are good to like get yourselves into certain series and things. And I'm pretty sure he mentioned Daredevil Born Again is a series of comics that are just like the best. And it's like what, 18 episodes they're making?
Yeah, that's
3 months every week of Daredevil.
I think they'll do it in batches. I think they might do I was thinking about this. When I was sort of seeing 18 episodes, I was thinking they could do that in batches of 3. And you can do what they used to do with the Clone Wars TV show, which was you can now tell contained stories, still have an overarching story. You can have contained 3-hour increments. And you could have 5 overarching sort of individual arcs. You don't have to keep chopping and changing.
Yeah.
There's so many things you can do. Because cool. This is what we talked about time. Like Kenobi should have been 18 episodes. I'd have watched 18 episodes of Kenobi.
Yeah, I would have if it was better.
Just going on adventures.
But yeah, this looks good. Daredevil I loved as a Netflix show. And it said it was Marvel's Daredevil. So hopefully it's the same Daredevil. It's played by the same actor. Hopefully they don't tone it down and Disneyfy it. Because it will be on Disney Plus. Saying that, Deadpool's now on Disney Plus, I believe. So is Logan. Yeah. So they are pushing those R-rated things now. Well, not pushing them. They're adding them into their roster. And also it's well written. What am I trying to say? The title's very good because also we've not had Daredevil for a while, so he is born again inside Disney.
It works on a lot of levels for him because he could have been blipped. We don't know that yet.
True.
Probably, I hope he was snapped out of existence and Kingpin came back and took over New York again, which explains Hawkeye.
Yeah, dealing with Kingpin.
Being worried about him. And then he comes back, obviously, and then obviously Daredevil comes back, is born again, which also works with all the Christian imagery that he had in season 1 on Netflix. Yeah. So that kind of ties in with, I guess he's always, the character had always had that.
And we might actually see what he's like sooner than we thought from a trailer that we will talk about later on.
Yes, I think he's going to appear in quite a few TV shows. I think they're kind of eyeing Charlie Cox. I think he could be Spider-Man-esque in terms of he's going to be in a lot of TV shows and help connect a lot of dots.
Because a lot of it tends to be in New York, and he's there. And it makes sense with She-Hulk because he is also an attorney.
Correct. And also he is also owned by Disney, whereas Spider-Man is not. So
also, yes.
Good also shot. The Daredevil costume is cool, and he has he can swing because he has like the grappling hook. So he's kind of like half Batman, half Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and he's got without fear.
Sticks,
and he's got a cool costume. He can sell costume. He's marketable.
But that's what I'm excited about. What are you excited about? This list of 12.
Blade.
Okay.
I'm excited for. Thunderbolts, maybe, because it's kind of their version of the Suicide Squad.
Oh, right. Okay. I was going to say, what is Thunderbolts?
They're kind of, they are a creation of Thunderbolt Ross, who was played by the late William Hurt, who died, who's in Civil War. Incredible Hulk.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so Thunderbolt Ross. And he comes up with this idea of
his name is Thunderbolt.
His call sign was Thunderbolt, so it was General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross.
That makes sense.
So they used to call him Thunderbolt Ross. So Thunderbolt Ross has puts together a team that's very similar style to Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
it's like Baron Zemo, what do you call him? Abomination.
Which is featured again in the trailer.
Who is also in the trailer, Incredible Hulk. Couple others. I can't remember half of them. I don't know enough about. I know enough. Like I knew who the Thunderbolts were, but I don't know what the cast. And the cast obviously has changed because it's like the Suicide Squad. They chop and change them, whoever they want. It kind of could be interesting. Apart from that, I don't know. But like I said, maybe Daredevil. I'm not super stoked on anything else yet. I think I'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Before judging.
But there's. Sorry, carry on.
No, I was just gonna say I'm not even that excited for Ant-Man, and it's the one that's going to produce like a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know anymore. And then obviously we've not even talked about Phase 6, which is the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because they launched another two. They did Fantastic Four, the Kang Dynasty Avengers movie.
Yep.
And Secret Wars.
The Secret Wars is big. That comic book storyline, I looked up, is massive. They all get transported, like the entire Marvel universe gets transported to a place called Battle World, where it's a whole bunch, and then they all fight each other. They're made to fight each other by this dude. So obviously they'll need a lot of characters by then.
Yeah.
But that movie, this sounds really daft to say, the amount of Marvel characters and properties you need for that to work and to have the stakes that it needs to have, that movie could be an absolute shit show.
Yes.
I don't know how you get that to work. I genuinely don't. Especially over one film.
Yeah.
So that I can highly expect that's either going to be a 4-hour long film or you're going to have 2-3-hour films. Easily.
Yeah.
If you look it up, once we're done, look it up. It's just, you read it and just go, look at the cast. You kind of go, holy shit.
What is happening?
Yeah, what is happening here? And by the way, that would be the worst film ever. Like, if you jumped into Infinity War, right, you could kind of get a grip on what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? So if you jumped in, if you missed a couple, you could jump into Infinity War. You could get caught up to speed relatively quickly. It would make some semblance of sense, right? If you, after missing a few, if you jumped straight into Kang Dynasty, or you jump straight into Secret Wars, I'm going to go watch the new Avengers film.
I have no idea what's happening.
No. You'd be sitting there wondering whether, what is this battle world? Who is this guy? Why is he looking at the moon? Wait, she's evil now? What the hell?
Yeah, that's so good.
Why is he the god of hammers? What's happened? So it's all a bit mad, really.
It's a bit mad, isn't it? There's a lot going on. I've just got the Comic-Con like best of highlights up on my laptop just now, and it is just so Marvel heavy.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like, and I mean we've got the dates, like Quantum Mania comes out next year, so we've got a lot of time before we even see any of these. Secret Invasion, Guardians of the Galaxy, Echo, Loki, Marvels, Blade, Ironheart, Coven of Chaos, all of those are 2023.
There's one called Armor Wars that's disappeared with Don Cheadle. It's not there anymore.
And then, that's might be Phase 6, I don't know.
Phase 6 now.
And then the rest, Daredevil, Captain America, and Thunderbolts are all 2024. And then they announced that Fantastic Four is also 2024, and Avengers
2026 is the next Avengers movie.
Which is just mental.
That is just mental.
Kang Dynasty says 2nd of May 2025.
Oh, 2025.
Yeah. But still, we're in 2022.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, I'm just not. I think the
I'm
other
not
problem
buzzed
is,
for it. Why am I not buzzed for it? It's
I
weird.
don't know. I think part of the problem is that like Ant-Man Quantumania, I guess that's Ant-Man 3. So I'm not too bothered about that. That's just the way that that timings work for him.
Yeah.
I'm not that stoked on I've not actually watched the Miss Marvel TV show, so I can't comment on it, but I wasn't that stoked about Captain Marvel as a film. Didn't really like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, so I'm kind of excited for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's the same with Ant-Man. They deserve a closeout film of their group.
Yeah.
And their first one was so good. So, they might, course correct. The rest of it, Blade, yes. Echo, could be good, might not be good. I'm not really sure. I'm interested to see how that works. Ironheart's kind of a cool idea. And I don't know enough about the character. But what's bugging me about Marvel is that all the new characters that they're kind of bringing up are basically the same character that we've already had. Same powers, same everything, just different actors and actresses.
Yeah.
And new versions of them. And the Marvel's done that over the years, but I would rather... This is kind of what Eddie was saying, where he was saying, they're really taking their sweet time bringing Fantastic Four and the X-Men in, which is kind of really annoying because that would bring new people, like that would keep people coming because it's something new.
Yeah.
Rather than Captain America New World Order, we're just getting a different person playing Captain America.
Yeah. I totally see where he's coming from.
It's the same thing, whereas even then, you've got to be something big and sort of to get people, to bring people back onto it. And it's the same thing like Black Widow. They just replaced Black Widow with Yelena. She's just going to be Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah. Black Widow instead of Black Widow. But then,
like, at the same time, like, they teased it in Multiverse of Madness, but I feel like they teased it in a really bad way because they introduced Fantastic Four, they introduced the X-Men, and then immediately killed them off. So,
they were shown to be inept.
Yeah, so, like, fans seeing that would have gone, like, during the movie, like, oh my God, I have to tell my friends about this reveal. And then the rest of the movie happens, you're like, oh wait, no, I don't. So,
no,
so the hype's gone.
They did nothing interesting.
It's mental. And why didn't they just go, oh, this is my friend Black Bolt, he's going to tell you what's up. And then he just goes, hey, what's up? And then she's dead. Yeah.
Dead. That would have been so good.
Rather than saying, he's going to destroy you with his voice. And she's like, what voice?
Just Black Bolt just hung over one day. He's like, sup, man? Sup?
She's like, ugh.
House is gone.
Everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead.
It's strange. It's weird that, our podcast is called That's Class. Saying that, the trailers later on in this episode, I'm so buzzed about.
I think they're good trailers.
They're very good trailers.
Very good trailers. And we'll get into that.
We're actually missing a trailer that I will add, or I'll try to add. You've probably seen it, but we've not added it in here. But I really want to talk about it because it looks amazing.
Okay, cool.
Listen on, listeners, and you'll find out.
Yeah. Yes, Marvel overall, we heard the announcement, talked about it, and yeah, it is what it is. I guess it's because there's nothing concrete to go with it.
Yeah.
But we know where they're going, so they fixed that problem.
We think.
Which is what we talked about. We think. We think, but it's a long way out. It's a long road.
In the words of our title of this episode, MCWho cares anymore?
Who cares anymore? Maybe a new generation. Are we old? Are we out of touch? No, it's the children that are wrong.
Moving on, let's just go straight on to what are we watching? What are we playing? What are we doing?
Wow.
Does that sound like a good segment?
Well, I have watched Grey Man, Princess, Executive Decision, we'll get on to. DB Cooper, Where Are You? The Mummy Returns, Scorpion King, and The Terminalist.
Bloody hell. The Terminalist is... Oh, The Terminal List.
Terminal List.
That's the
8-episode TV series on Amazon Prime.
That's the Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt as the Navy SEAL.
Let's just kick it off there. Is it good?
It's excellent. I just finished it. Not that long ago.
Because I got bad trailer vibes from it, thinking this is a piece of crap.
Wasn't a good trailer, but actually, so give listeners background, he is a Navy SEAL. He goes on a mission. The mission goes disastrously wrong. He comes back. He starts to have memory loss and sort of
very born identity.
Discord. Well, more his memory of events is different to the memory of events he's presented with from the logs and stuff along those lines. And from there, it sort of transpires that maybe there's a conspiracy. He thinks there's a conspiracy, but then is there a conspiracy? Or is he just making it up? Is he the one going a bit crazy? Has he got PTSD, all that sort of thing?
Yeah.
And then from there, it goes a little bit, it gets quite dark. And then obviously you discover, obviously then the show kicks off. There is actually perhaps a conspiracy, and Chris Pratt starts to kick ass. And I have to say, Chris Pratt's one a bit like fell into the Ryan Reynolds and Rock category for a while, where you kind of went, God, he's in everything, isn't he?
I'm a funny guy. Hey, yeah.
But he has played a Navy SEAL before, or he played a Navy SEAL in Zero Dark 30. People don't remember that in Zero Dark 30. And actually, he conducts himself very well. I think very well. And I think he actually plays the character like quite believable. He's very believable.
Is this character in Jurassic Park not ex-Navy SEAL as well? Because he does this a lot.
Army. No, that's not new.
And he goes like this. He goes like this. And he's got his gun. And he goes,
hunting rifle.
He goes, let's go. And then he goes, wild dinosaur. I've trained you by going like this.
Those hand. I don't think they train dinosaurs in the Navy SEALs, but.
Oh, it's such a terrible series of movies. Anyway, it's good though.
Terminal List is an excellent show. It's very well done. The conspiracy keeps you hooked till the very end. It's got the right amount of action throughout that keeps you guessing. And I think the supporting cast is really good as well. They're not all, I'm going to say like big names that I recognize, but they're all solid. They're all solid actresses.
Nice.
And it keeps you it keeps you invested throughout the entire time. But no,
maybe I'll give it a go, because last time you recommended Jack Reacher, and it took me a while to actually start watching it, and it was really good. Yeah,
no, Terminal List is good.
So I'll give it a go tonight.
It's direct. The first episode, and I think it's produced by always get his name wrong, Antoine
Dubois.
Fuqua?
Dubois?
Fuqua? I don't know.
Farquaad. Antoine Fuqua. Yeah, Antoine Fuqua.
Fuqua, yeah. Director of Training Day and other such hits.
Nice.
So he is obviously, if he's on board, there's a bit of realism to it. And the first episode's directed by him. You can tell.
Yeah.
And the other guy in it is who is ironically very good in it because people think he's shit, is Jai Courtney. Who was like Bruce Willis's son in the 5th Die Hard film of all things. And he's also Captain Boomerang in Suicide Squad.
Oh, the Aussie dude, yeah.
Aussie dude. Some people think he's not great, but actually he plays this character really well.
And he's absolutely jacked.
Oh, he plays like a military Navy SEAL type.
The man is huge.
Yeah, he's really good in it. And Taylor Kitsch is in it as well, who looks like a slightly younger Keanu Reeves. I don't think that was possible. But he's got the same beard, the same like black hair down to here, and honestly, him and Keanu Reeves in a suit and opposite each other, you could have like a weird John Wick movie where like he's having to kill himself.
Whoa.
Yeah, I would like to see that happen.
Rad.
You'll see when you see them, but honestly, with the beard and the hair, he looks identical.
That's so cool.
Or very close.
And speaking of Keanu Reeves, we'll talk about him later on as well. So much happening in trailer time.
So much happening.
Stick around for trailer time.
So yeah, Terminal List, worth watching.
That sounds cool. I will add that to the list. Tick.
Okay. Do you want to talk about Resident Evil quickly? Because you obviously started with it last week.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Resident Evil, as someone who's never played the video games and no other reference to Resident Evil in the storyline or anything, you were right. So you told me all these things about Hesker.
Right, that's it. That's it. From now on, I'm just going to start mispronouncing things that you know about. Rob McElhenney.
Albert Wesker is a scientist, but also an absolute badass. And what we found out in our TV show, spoilers everyone, he's a clone. So Albert Wesker, the guy that we've gone to know and love in this TV show, you find a little bit about his past and you start to notice little things from the previous episodes where they say, why did you do that to that lady with a massive eyeball on her back? And he was like, it wasn't me. And you're like, totally, it wasn't him because he's a clone. It was some, it was him, but it wasn't him.
Because he's a clone.
So you see a background, you see a flashback of Albert Wesker, and there are 4 of them in this dungeon working at these desks. And they're all working on certain things. And then, because I looked it up on Google, because there was a Resident Evil movie with like this fight with Albert Wesker and these dogs that open their mouths and shit. And Albert Wesker walks in and he's wearing this duster, very shiny leather duster, black gloves. He's got these really like rectangular Matrix style sunglasses and like slicked back hair. And this actor is a bald black man.
Yes.
Right? Seeing him with hair looks very strange.
Did you look him up on Google after I told you he was like a
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he's like
guy?
a blonde white guy.
Yeah.
So they've basically tried their hardest to make him look similar, but obviously their version is an African American version. And he does it so well. And like, what an actor. He plays these
he's
5 different Albert Weskers completely differently. Like, it's a different actor. And like, so the one you've grown up with, he's got glasses and a bald head and he's like a scientist and he talks like how you did that really good impression. Go. No.
No, I can't.
And then, so you've got the other Albert Weskers who they call themselves different names. So like Albert Wesker is the guy with the leather jacket. And then Albie is the one that we've got to know. And then Bert is the other guy. So they all have different names. And then Bert's hilarious. Bert's got a big beard and he's like, hey bro, what's up bro? And he's like completely different to who you've got to know. And you're like, my brain is so fucked right now. So that was a cool little reveal. And it also explains why he injects all the blood from his kids. So his kids are his genetics, but he's a clone. So he needs their blood because he's a clone. He needs a certain medicine to stay alive because he ages rapidly. So to stay at a certain age, he needs these red blood cells or whatever. So that was a cool reveal. Her sister, who had died, was not dead. She now works for Umbrella. And it appears that the lady that we thought was running Umbrella, I cannot remember her name. Hold on, let me double check.
Like Ada Wong, is it, or something?
No. But it's like she's controlling her with an iPad. Evelyn Marcus.
Oh, that name rings it. That name, like Quasimodo's face, that name rings a bell.
Yeah, she's like the head of Umbrella. And it turns out that Billy is like controlling her with an iPad. So she either has like a chip inside her or she's actually a robot. But that doesn't make any sense. But at the very end, she's like controlling her. It's like, isn't that right, Evelyn? She like pushes a button. She goes, righty-roo. Like, here we go. And it was like super out of character. And I don't know. I just made that up. But it was really cool. It was a cool little ending. And then it ended on like a massive zombie crocodile and like all these zombies. And she's found Jade, the scientist at the start. She's found a repel and an attraction spray.
Okay.
Basically, her whole thing was she wanted to find whether or not the Zeros were adapting and changing, and their brain was like the disease was changing.
Did you just call them Zeros?
Are they not called Zeros?
No, I'm just thinking because there's a Resident Evil game called Resident Evil Zero. And I'm just thinking
right. Well, they call them Zeros.
I was just image of someone going, come closer, stay away. Come
Yes.
closer. Stay away.
Oh,
Come closer. Oh.
But basically, because she's been trying to test and see whether or not there are leaders and followers within the Zeros. And then when she was like locked up at one point, she noticed that this one Zero was like screaming her head off, and all these other ones were following what she was like screaming, or like they understood each other. So she killed this Zero, chopped her head off, because she noticed this like weird gland on the back of her head. So she was like, it has to be something to do with this, which it was. And it turns out it was a pheromone instead of a noise.
Okay.
So she basically took whatever smell came from this weird sac on the back of her head, and then did it with like blood cells and things, and did sciencey things. And one was a repel, one was a fuck.
Oh, coming. You're so engrossed in it.
That was really
funny.
annoying.
I saw that coming. I was thinking, is he going to stop? Is he going to see it? Is he going to take a breath?
I got deep into it. Into it. Where was I?
You were talking about pheromones and something about chopping off a lady's neck.
So
she chops off the lady's neck.
Chops off the lady's neck, takes it back, finds out that it's a smell, changes the smell into a spray, and then basically she can spray herself in this pheromone, and the Zeros will just run right by you.
Okay. It's a bit like Walking Dead when they cover themselves in the guts.
Yeah. And
cool. So
she's also got a weapon. You know, spray this area, Zeros are going to go ham on it.
Cool.
And that's kind of how it ended, really.
Okay. So leaving more to explore.
Yes. Also, thank you, Zoom, for cutting on me off there. That was great.
So that's how it ended. That was just it. Did it just end like after the reveal of the mini Alberts?
Yeah, because she basically took the vial. She was with her sister, who now we found out works for Umbrella, and her sister's a massive biatch now. So she like in their big tent thing that they made on this island, she basically throws the vial down and it breaks. And then a whole horde of Zeros come in, as well as this massive crocodile, and then it kind of ends.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
Well, kind of. No, not really. You see them get away.
Oh, okay. That's what I meant. Like, is that how it ends, or the crocodile, or the?
Yeah, it ends with like the crocodile. Everyone gets away, and it's all hunky dory. But I can't remember how it ends. But Fair enough. It ended somehow, but it was fine. I'll probably watch it again when it comes back. So
would you reckon? Would you say it's class, or would you say it's
I say it's pretty
middling to class.
It's fine. If you're a Resident Evil fan, like maybe watch it and see. But if like you're a hardcore fan, you might absolutely hate it.
True.
But if you've never watched it before, it might be something that you could be into. It's not like a scary zombie thriller. Okay. It's not like scary at all, in my opinion. And the games that I've heard from are terrifying.
Oh, games just have jump scares as part of their...
Yeah, not so many jump scares in this then.
2 or 3 has a thing called the Juggernaut. Is it Mr. X? Or is it like a Juggernaut? I can't remember its name. But this character pursues you around the game.
Oh yeah, he's got a big old hat on.
Possibly.
Yeah, Mr. X.
All I remember is that he basically like follows you around, and he's you can't basically not kill him for a long time. And if he gets you, you die. But obviously, you're running around trying to solve puzzles, and then the door will open. You'll turn around and it's him, and you're going, "Oh shit!"
Oh really?
Gotta go.
You just have to just run.
Gotta go.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I've seen him before in like YouTube.
Sure, there's stuff. YouTube videos and stuff. Yeah.
But what else have you watched?
Okay. First of all, I did watch The Mummy Returns, and The Scorpion King, and anybody that hasn't seen those movies should go watch them because they're excellent. They haven't really aged.
What's his face? Brendan Fraser?
Brendan Fraser as Rick O'Connell is just great. Rachel Weisz, John Hamm, they're all Arnold Vosloo. They're just all invested. It's so much fun. I watched DB Cooper, Where Are You?, which is a documentary about the guy that did the hijacking of the plane.
Yeah, and then disappeared into
with
nowhere.
The bomb, and then jumped off the plane with a parachute. It was never found again.
Yeah.
And then the authorities gave him $500,000.
In Marvel, they made it look like it was Loki.
Yeah, they referenced that in the documentary where they're saying how much he has gone through pop culture as this mythical figure who literally told someone he had a bomb. He landed the plane, got given $500,000, let all the people off the plane. Plane took off. He jumped out in the middle of Oregon. Never got seen again.
And is that how the documentary ends?
Well, no one's ever found him. They're just they're trying to prove that this happened. There's all these conspiracy theories
that it never actually happened.
Well, it did happen. Kat and I watched it, and we both sat there, and we decided the only logical. Everyone tries to track this guy down through this documentary. And this guy's DB Cooper, and people have claimed to be DB Cooper. There's all these things, and we just basically summed it up by saying, "What if it was just like nobody?" There's a guy on it that says he was on the plane, and he was the guy sitting next to DB Cooper in like the next seat, and even he can't really remember what DB Cooper looks like. Yeah. And then it occurred to me that perhaps either DB Cooper wasn't real, and this is all some ploy to get a share of $500,000 between the four stewardesses and the two pilots.
Yeah.
And then it's just strange. And we were saying, what happens if it's that? Or did DB Cooper, he pushed everyone else to the front of the plane. He sat at the back by himself and then jumped off, right? What happens if he never jumped off the plane and just hid in one of like the compartments underneath the plane, and then when the plane landed, just cut up and walked left?
Maybe.
So there's all these, but they don't talk about those ideas. It's so weird. Everyone's convinced he jumped.
Yeah. What if he didn't jump? Yeah.
What if he wasn't actually real, and everyone just doesn't? Everyone thinks they remember a guy in a business suit because it's so logical that there would be a guy in a business suit on a plane.
Yeah.
But actually, there wasn't. Everyone just thinks they remember him.
I might wait to watch that with Lucy and see if she has any ideas.
It's good. It's actually a good documentary. It's well done, and I didn't know. It's obviously an American folklore almost-ish tale, but I really didn't know a lot about it, so it was kind of interesting from that standpoint.
Cool. And it's a nice change from like real life murder documentaries.
Yeah, it's a great tale. I mean? It's not like true crime and this person got stabbed 52 times.
Yeah, and we never found the murderer
in New York City. Yeah. It's just about this Robin Hood type guy and didn't hurt a fly. Yeah. Strange. Yeah, it's a good watch. It's entertaining.
And then The Grey Man.
So, yes, and I also watched The Princess and The Grey Man, an executive decision, and I'll get into the executive decision in a minute because that's a 1996 film.
I know, I was going to say, these are all old films except The Grey Man.
Yeah, no, The Princess isn't. The Princess is new. You're thinking of The Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah.
The Princess is also a 20th Century Fox film that was on Disney+. But I'll explain that in a minute. So, The Grey Man is also the new Netflix spectacular. It's like one of their most expensive films they've ever made.
Yeah.
So Eddie watched it. Eddie enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And he said Gosling was effortlessly cool. As what, and he thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't remember if he said anything else. So sure, tell me off if I don't have a look here. That's not the right thing. So yes, everybody looks like they're having fun, and it's a good time. So
he said Chris Evans is really leaning into the dickhead role post Captain America.
I was just about to find it. Yeah. So, have you watched it?
No. It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Yeah.
I might watch it tonight.
So, for me, started off watching it. I thought, okay, this is kind of cool. It's very modern action film, and I got to the end of it, and I was I enjoyed it. I kind of enjoyed it. It turned my brain off, sort of action film, and then it occurred to me that, to be honest, it's not that great.
Okay.
And it just sounded so bad. I just sat there and thought, wasn't that good? It's got, the plot is next to negligible, but so are most action films, but there's no hook.
Yeah.
There's no real hook. So the original plot device is this memory chip that they're, like the old MacGuffin, that they're he gets a hold of, Ryan Gosling's character gets a hold of, and then Reggie Jean Page's character wants it back. So they send Lloyd, who is Chris Evans' character, to get it.
Oh, is this when Chris Evans has like a really awful mustache?
Yes, perfect. Tash, white. There's a great scene where him and Ryan Gosling meet each other for the first time, and Chris Evans is leaning into obviously his douchebag villain role.
Yeah.
He's going, "Hey, sunshine," and Ryan Gosling's character just says, "You must be Lloyd." He goes, "What gave it away?" He goes, "White pants and the trash stash."
Definitely
This just
Lloyd.
screams Lloyd.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure my friend Lloyd wouldn't appreciate that.
I think my favorite bit after that though is he says, "Give me the chip." He goes, "I got it here somewhere." And he pulls the pin out. He pulls his hand up. It's the pin off a grenade.
Right.
And he goes, "Is this it?" Chris Evans looks at it and just says, "Ballsy," like Jim Carrey-esque.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
goes,
totally.
"Ballsy," and then they both run opposite directions to get away from the grenade. That's possible.
Is that a comedy?
No, but it's just this one little bit, just
Right.
comedy-esque.
Yeah.
I think that entire scene is really good. There's a couple of action scenes. So it's an action film, so the film hinges on its set pieces. Okay.
Yeah.
The first set piece is really good. I really enjoyed it. It's set in Bangkok. It's shot really well. It's very inventive. From there, it kind of there's one more that I quite like when he gets caught, he gets trapped, and he has to escape. He uses a clever idea to escape the trap. But overall, I just thought the action scenes weren't memorable, which I thought was really strict. I thought they were sounds really bad, but it was almost badly done in a way that I would expect more from the Russo brothers.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Captain America Winter Soldier car chase?
Yes.
When they're on the highway.
On the highway, yeah.
With the Winter Soldier.
Great scene.
That's a great car chase and fight. None of the fight scenes in this new film compare to that.
But then you're working with superheroes, I guess.
Yeah, but they're action heroes. But there's no. I think one of the problems is that so many of the action scenes you can't tell what's going on, so you can't tell who's good, who's bad. There's one fight in a plane that is just a gigantic Michael Bay style clusterfuck, which is action spectacle. It's like each scene there is action, so it's not like I'm saying it's an action movie with no action. Yeah. But there's no clearly defined. The final fight, obviously the final fight between Ryan Gosling and Lloyd, is good. But there's a bunch. The rest in between is just, not very memorable at all. It's kind of very generic.
Interesting.
You see, when you watch, you
character
might
arcs.
You might not. Character arcs. It's kind of minimum.
Lloyd's not a dick anymore at the end.
Well, no, they jump between. And everyone seems invested, so it's not the actors. They all seem to be enjoying themselves. It's the action scene. It kind of hinges on its action scenes, and the action scenes just aren't that good. And there's a lot of they're not like. And you watch the terminal list, and you kind of go, kind of prefer the action scenes in that. And this is where I was going to go with the Executive Decision. I watched Grey Man, and then I watched the Executive Decision, which was just happened to be on Netflix.
Yeah.
I watched that, and that film holds up. There's a plot, you get invested.
Yeah.
And you're invested in the tension of it throughout the entire film. Yeah. And that's the problem with The Grey Man, is you're just not invested in there's no tension at all. Like, I'm just not invested. Even though you have like Kurt Russell, who you know is going to survive. Exactly.
Yeah.
He doesn't, the whole thing's tense. You feel tension at times. There's nothing like that. And one of the other things that's really funny, I don't want to obviously spoil the plot, but there's a character who basically has a backstory, okay? And it's a she. And Lovely. She has lost. It was kind of almost like the authors of the story went, she has to lose both parents. Okay? And she has to have an illness. And she has to have this. And she has to have that. And the kitchen sink. And it's kind of, she didn't need all of that. She could have just had one of these things.
Yeah, make her a more simple
Like,
character.
she's just over complex for the sake of being over complex.
Yeah.
And the other one that's really funny is they keep trying to make Ryan Gosling has this thing for chewing bubble gum, I think. Chewing gum,
I feel
gum.
is he trying to do like the Brad Pitt thing where he's always eating?
Well, it's kind of like that, but it's almost, somebody described it as the blender thing from State of, no, what's the one with Will Smith and trying to think.
Enemy of the State?
Enemy of the State, that's the one. He's always going, I just want my blender, or he's just, they're trying to like make the blender part of his character,
Right.
but they're trying to make the gum part of his character. It just isn't.
He's just always chewing gum.
Yeah, that kind of, it's like the Brad Pitt always or the Han always eating thing, but it just doesn't work
Yeah.
as well. And when hopefully once you see it, you probably watch it tonight and then come back to me with your opinions. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, you just feel that there's actually also, I don't know how much Audi fucking paid.
Yeah, there's heaps of Audis.
I think my personal favorite was it's obviously supposed to be set in like present day.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to a scene from 3 years ago, something like that. 3-4 years ago. He races to the hospital in like a brand spanking new Audi e-tron GT, like a 2022 model.
That doesn't make sense.
I was like, that doesn't make sense. That car did not exist 3 or 4 years ago. So yeah, overall, it was, I said it. It says, it's not good. It's not great. It's not bad. I said this to Pedro. He says, you should use this. So I'm going to use it. It's not great, but it's not bad. Therefore, it's not really black. It's not white. It's just grey.
Hey, it's a good title then.
Yeah, you know what? It absolutely is.
Did Pidge say that?
No, I said that. I came up
Okay,
with
good.
that.
Because we don't want to give Pidge credit for that.
He said I should use it. So
The Michael Owen of our friendship.
Michael. Pidge, because he wears a grey coat.
Pidge would have said, it's a movie. Because
it's a movie.
Because
it's an action film. Because you can tell it's an action film because there's action in it.
Action films are only action films when you see action. Thanks, Pidge.
And
he's
back
great.
to the studio.
Back to the studio. Shall we move on? We've got breaking news.
Yes. Well, yes, breaking news from lunchtime today. Sebastian Vettel is retiring from Formula One as of the end of this season.
Requiescat in pace.
Requiescat in pace.
I'm quite gutted about this. I love a bit of Seb.
I've liked him since he kind of towards the tail end of his career. I kind of didn't really like him when he was at Red Bull.
No, but I feel like you kind of got, when he moved to Ferrari and then now he's moved to Aston, you can kind of tell that he's just like, meh, I'm a pretty good driver, but
4-time world champion.
Kind of over it now. And like he got a win on the weekend, you know? Well, not on the weekend. Oh wait, am I thinking of something else? I've been watching a lot of F1 2022 YouTube videos. I think I just got that mixed up in real life. That's terrible.
I think you're wrong. Yeah,
he won.
Somewhere, Eddie's going to hear that.
Eddie is
hear about this.
Fuming.
You're going to hear this. You absolute, pardon the French, but you absolute fucking casual.
No, F1 casual. F1 muggle.
That's even worse. Can't cross things like that.
Dude, I just love it so much that I watch other people play a video game and then I get confused with reality.
2 F1 fan pass points that you've just dropped. Like points on the license. Points on the fan license.
But again, I really like Sebastian Vettel. But he also, if you look on the F1 Instagram page, he released a statement. And it's a very serious statement. It's in black and white. And he's clearly reading a teleprompter. But he basically says that it's a weird one, actually, because he's like, I'm announcing my retirement at the end of the 2022 season. And usually this would be the time where I'd like to thank a bunch of people. But instead of saying that, he wants to give you a reason as to why he's leaving. And it's very heartfelt and it's very nice. And then it also kind of goes into like the children are our future and environments, and we have to look after the planet. And I'm like, okay.
What you can't see is Lawrence Stroll's massive hand with like a massive shotgun just off the screen, with like Lance Stroll's younger brother just dressed in Aston Martin overalls, ready to get in his car already.
Stop being so good. It has to be the Stroll F1 team.
The Stroll boys are taking over.
That's so bad. He's such a terrible driver. Well, he's not a terrible driver. He's obviously an F1 standard, but still.
Yeah,
he got in.
Possibly one of the 20 best track drivers in the world.
Exactly. But he also got the opportunity because Daddy owns Aston Martin race team.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
Little bit of that.
Nepotism. Just a little.
Yes. What is this? It's probably news to me, or not news to you guys, but you might have more knowledge about it. It's a shame Eddie isn't here. Audi and Porsche are coming in 2024.
Oh, caught me by surprise. So much shock.
Yes or no? They can't have two teams, right? That's like 26 cars.
Yeah, Red Bull have two teams.
Yeah, that's true. 26 cars on the track, though.
No, I think
a lot.
Porsche are teaming up with Red Bull. So it's
Porsche are teaming up with Red Bull.
I think it's Porsche Red.
But then Porsche is owned by.
It's not that I don't know. Well, it's not that I'm going to be super casual and say this is what I know. Yeah. I don't know enough about it to even consider talking about it. But I do know. I do believe it's Porsche and Red Bull, but I don't know any of the other things. I know there was a
2026. Sorry, I was wrong.
Just call him and ask. Just
call Eddie. Hold on, he hates it when people phone him. Actually, this would be great. This would be great content.
Oh yeah, you call him. See how that works out for you.
I'll call him. Yeah. When was the last time I phoned Eddie? Jesus.
Just phone through WhatsApp.
Let's do this.
This will never work. Yeah, Eddie, you're live on the air. Fuck off. You'll never answer.
I don't know what's happened. It just stopped ringing.
He's hung up on you.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service. Please leave a message after the tone. When you finish recording, please hang up. Press the hash key for more options.
Hi Eddie, it's Rory. You're on live at That's Class Pod. It's a shame that you can't answer because we have F1 questions and we didn't want to get it wrong. Hopefully you answer. You probably won't, but you'll probably know that we phoned you about this on Monday.
Probably could just WhatsApped him by this point.
Have a super day, and I hope your penis feels better soon. Bye. Okay, that was good. Oh well, no sign of Eddie. But yeah, 2026. Audi and Porsche will join F1.
Well,
they've been rumored. There you go.
It would only be 22 cars.
Porsche have been rumored to partner with Red Bull Racing, while Audi has previously been linked with McLaren. So maybe I wonder if it's more of like a engine thing rather than a brand.
Well, Red Bull are making their own engines now.
Well, it's a Honda.
No.
It's a Honda.
No,
underneath it's a Honda. It's branded with a Red Bull powertrain. It's still basically a Honda.
I think my favorite joke that I've ever come, one of my favorite ones I've ever come up with was at the start of the season when they both cracked, their cars went broke in Bahrain, and they went, oh, it's a Red Bull engine, and that's good because I used to making cans.
Hey, cans of shite.
Cans of shite.
Speaking of things that aren't cans of shite.
Yes.
Welcome everybody to a podcast within a podcast, Trailer Time, where I introduce the Trailer Time. I say it's hosted by Eddie, but it's actually hosted by me, and Duncan gets very confused and has to sit in a corner and sing Mr. Jones to himself. Counting Crows song. Mr. Jones and
I thought
me.
you said Mrs. Jones. I was confused Mrs. Jones with Mr. Jones.
Or Miss Robinson. Mr. Jones. It's Trailer Time. Welcome to Trailer Time. Let's get into some trailers. Shall we talk about the first trailer in our list?
Yes. Shazam, Fury of the Gods.
All of these trailers,
give a shit.
All of these trailers so far are, well, all of them are from Comic-Con.
Comic-Con. Okay. Did you watch the first Shazam?
I did. I thought it was
Did you enjoy it?
I thought the humor was good, but I have not thought about it since.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I've watched the first Shazam, but I feel like it's forgettable.
Here's the thing, that's how forgettable it is. I forgot they're a team now. Forgot there's more than one. The whole family or something.
I think what's going to happen with Shazam, Fury of the Gods, is the same problem that Thor... They're trying to give it that Thor Ragnarok, Thor Love and Thunder twist. You can see that. I can see that coming a mile away.
Comedy superhero movie.
But I don't... Once again, the humor of Shazam was written into the story. The situations were funny. Yeah,
because he's a kid in a man's body. And he acts like a kid because he's like, what the fuck is going on?
But he should be older and wiser now.
I guess
because he's been Shazam for a while.
Yeah.
So you'd think the balance would be there. But now he's still it's kind of, now it's just trying to make him be.
Yeah, because like in the end of the trailer or something, he says, I just threw a dinosaur into space. That's
okay. That bit's actually okay. It's kind of the first bit where it's kind of, he's saying things along the lines of, I've seen all the Fast and the Furious films. It's all about family. Was it?
It's all about family. That was a good joke.
Kind of funny,
I quite like that.
But I just, it could be one of these things where it'll probably have the jokes will have diminishing returns. But on the flip side of that, it could be excellent. It could be an underrated gem.
I mean,
but I just couldn't. I don't care about the DC. I don't.
Yeah, that's the thing about the DC is, it looks okay. I'll probably watch it, but I'll probably not watch it in the cinema.
Yeah,
I think I watched Shazam on an airplane or something.
It's a Friday night fajita film at best.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way I would describe it. It could very well. Let's put it this way. It's not quite phone twitcher that the Grey Man nearly was at one point. Then
which Eddie said it wasn't. Eddie didn't twitch on his phone. Yeah.
Maybe I was just on the phone for something.
But in contrast to this, a trailer that I didn't even bother watching, but is related to Shazam, is they did another teaser for Black Adam at Comic-Con.
I didn't watch that.
Yeah, because it is The Rock being a superhero and being very strong and being The Rock.
Yeah. I know what I'm going to get with that film. That film is also a Friday Night Fate film, but I know exactly what I'm going to get with it. The only thing cool about that film is Pierce Brosnan being Dr. Fate. That looks kind of...
Yes, actually.
Their version of Doctor Strange. That kind of... He looks kind of cool. Can we just have a Dr. Fate film? I'll be all for that.
Yeah, that would be sick.
All the Egyptian symbols and throwing shit. And the blue with the gold helmet. Oh, the gold helmet looks fucking sick. Some sort of like Spartan-esque magical helmet. Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Yeah, the only cool thing about Fury of the Gods is that they'll probably tease The Rock at the end of it, because obviously The Rock is Shazam's nemesis. Black Adam is Shazam's.
Yeah, because they both have the
Joker.
lightning bolt, right?
Yeah, he's also like the final seat in the Shazam 1. They're all in the little circle, and she says, "Oh, I wonder who's going to take the final seat." And then they look at this chair and it's empty, but obviously the person taking that final chair is supposed to be The Rock.
Ah, right.
Black Adam, but Black Adam's obviously temperamental at best. Does his own thing. So that would be funny, seeing a super serious Black Adam played by The Rock with Zachary Levi.
Yeah.
Facing off against one another could be quite entertaining,
right.
I guess, over some fajitas. Okay.
Something that is going to be entertainment from the windows to the walls.
In one way or the other.
Sweat dripping down my balls.
In one way or the other.
In one way or the other. Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power got a Comic-Con trailer.
Yep. Have you opened it and read the comments?
I just read. So while you were talking about Shazam there, I just read down below the comment of the trailer. The comments below are class. And now I'm on them and I'm having a great time. Guys, those of you listening or watching, if you go onto YouTube and you type in The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power SDCC trailer on the Prime Video link. Look at the Prime Video one. The comments are incredible, and I can't tell if it's because they think it looks shit or they're just. Let's read out. I'll read out a couple, and Duncan can read out a couple. So this is from a man called Patrick McGlinsky. He says, the part where Kylo Ren tells Sauron that his parents are nobodies, but then Rocky Balboa swings into frame and declares, "I pity the fool," and bam! The theme song to Murder, She Wrote just starts blasting. Chills, man, chills.
Chills.
Next one, Silent. Silent writes, when Tom Bombadil goes, "Frodo, I am your father." It's such a shocking and awe-inspiring moment. Not even Tolkien himself could have conceived such sublime sequence.
The part where Sauron says Autobots transform and Gandalf was stuck in Narnia drifting his RX-7 saying family over and over again. It gave me chills. I think this must be people that are hating on it. But
I love
it's
it.
surprising that they're hating on it in this
Oh my god, this one's incredible. Galadriel waving her master sword while playing her ocarina and slaying stormtroopers while yelling, "This is Sparta, an absolute masterpiece." Oh my god, this is so good.
The part where Elrond looks into the camera and says, "Goonies never say die."
The part when Gandalf pulls out the submachine gun and says to the orcs, "Say hello to my little friend," was truly breathtaking. Tolkien could not have written better. Galadriel flies up to the mountain shouting, "To infinity and beyond," and Elrond joined her in the battle saying, "I'm with you to the end of the line," was so inspiring. 10 out of 10. This trailer's so stunning, so brave. We finally have a true. Oh, right, okay. Oh, okay. Anyway,
Every
we
time
are.
Treebeard says, "I am Groot."
That's so good. I really teared up when Davy Jones attacked with his famous ship, the USS Enterprise, and engaged in a sword duel with Simba in the last battle that Narnia would have to ever endure again. The plot with James Ryan shooting his bow and arrow, hitting Davy Jones in the knee, and thus ending the days as an adventurer really just got to me. Also, when Maverick came to the read more rescue with the famous
Maverick came to the read more.
Maverick came to the rescue with the famous Rohirrim infantry charge. Huh?
Rohirrim, yeah.
At the Iron Islands.
Rohirrim's a good correct.
I don't know. Anyway,
the
trailer's not getting love, but I think it looks good. And we are running out of time, so we got to rattle these off.
It's okay. So the trailer looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It just looks exciting. They are opening more and more up apparently and saying this is kind of based on Tolkien's work, but we're not really following anything super properly.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks, once again, we can only judge it on the trailer that we see. The trailer looks okay.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. I guess we'll find out if all their money's well spent come September.
Still going to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've got to watch it so we
on.
can talk about it, for good or for bad.
Yes.
All right. Next trailer that I thought was actually, in terms of trailer, is very well done.
Very, very good trailer. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever. I thought the music, which you should be able to agree on, we'll be able to agree on this. Music was very well done.
The music was so fucking good.
I thought the way they blended it all together. I got a little bit Avatar vibes from the trailer. From the water people.
Totally, because of the water people.
Atlanteans.
Are they blue? And are they called Atlanteans?
So the continent of Atlantis exists in the Marvel Universe. It's kind of it's the water version of Wakanda.
But like as well as DC with Aquaman, he's in Atlantis.
Yes, yeah, obviously because they basically mirror images of each other.
Yeah.
So Namor the Submariner is basically Aquaman. Right. He's kind of an anti-hero. He kind of he's a bit like Black Hat, does whatever he thinks is good for him.
Okay.
So he could be an interesting character.
Yeah.
So there's we're kind of there's a new character.
Yeah.
An interesting new character. But yeah, they look. I don't know if they're blue or because he's not blue.
I don't know if it was the ocean and then it was the reflection of the ocean, but they looked blue.
I've seen a blue action figure.
Okay.
On IGN or something. So I think there are blue. It could be like Thor, where there's like Frost, like their version of Frost.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the trailer's really well made. They're clearly going pretty obviously on the fact that what's his name? The old Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman has died.
Yes.
And his sister's going to take up the mantle. And I'm intrigued to see how it has happened or how they're going to write it in. You know, was he in battle or was it Endgame or, you know, he was at Tony's funeral, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be intriguing to see how they tackle that. But like you mentioned, the music that they use in this trailer. If you want to watch this trailer for the music alone, it's a very African choir version of Three Little Birds by Bob Marley. So don't worry, be happy. Every little thing's going to be all right. That stuff. And
No Women Don't Cry. And
is that No Women Don't Cry? No,
that's what they start with. It's No Women Don't Cry.
Oh, is it? But they go into every little thing is going to be all right. And excuse me, the best part for me.
No, that's it's going to be all right. Is Kendrick Lamar?
No, because it goes into the song. Every little thing is gonna be all right, and then it goes. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all, and then it goes into Kendrick Lamar.
Ah, right, okay.
And the scenes start coming in thick and fast as the music starts picking up, and it's such a good use of music. I loved it. That's probably
a great bit where
sold me on the movie more than anything
Okoye
else.
gets hit and she's got her spear and she extends the spear and she's got it trailing all on the ground, and it's kind of this bit where it kind of goes, "Gonna be all right," and as she's scraping, it goes whoop, and it kind of ends when she stops.
It's good.
Yeah.
They also do that.
Put the two Black Panther trailers together.
Yeah,
they can stay. They're pretty good.
Give them a pay rise.
Give them a pay rise. Yeah, we can pay some VFX artists some more money so they can fix their VFX at some point. Yes,
moving on.
Be our next trailer. Okay, She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Okay,
CGI still looks pretty janky.
Apparently they've lost all their VFX artists. Partly because they're not paying them enough, or like they're hassling them on time.
Well,
so I was like, well, that would explain why the VFX looking shit for a long time.
But again, like when you think about it, the VFX isn't shit. Like it's just to our standards now, it doesn't look as good. It's actually really impressive.
It is. Oh, obviously, anything in VFX is very impressive. Hold on 2 seconds. We'll quickly. Right.
But the biggest thing from this trailer for me is obviously the reveal of Daredevil at the very end, and the fact that it is more comic booky accurate Daredevil. Yeah. So he's red and yellow. If you look back at the trailer where he does his flip, or just Google it. He does his flip, right? And like you see his waist, his belt, and his wrist, and he's holding his baton. He's got a very scarlet colored suit, and he's got little gold rings and gold accents, and it's very comic book accurate.
Is it original? Like, oh, cool. Yeah, the only thing I really dislike Professor Hulk. I dislike him.
Even his CGI looked kind of weird in this as well.
It's not so much the CGI. I really don't like. I've never liked Professor Hulk as a character.
I know you've said this before. Yeah.
I was thinking about it the other day. It's one of these things that you watch the trailer for this and then it suddenly twigs something in the back of your brain. And part of it was we watched Hulk get the absolute shit kicked out of him by Thanos, right? So by storytelling logic, at some point in Endgame, Thanos should have had a fucking reckoning with a really pissed off Hulk. That's what should, and we never got that, and that made me really cross. I was like, oh, shit. But I really wanted to see that. Like just when he thought he got past Wanda, and then Hulk's like, where do you think you're going, son?
But then what we were seeing in the trailer is that maybe he is getting back into being like Hulk smash again, because from Endgame and things, he's always a bit kind of like embarrassed to be the Hulk now. He's like, but you know,
but
But now he's training her to be the Hulk and things. We got a minute left, so let's go through this.
No. We just have to do quickly another one because
Okay,
we've not
cool.
got enough time to cut everything. But the one thing I would say is, so yeah, I'm not a big fan of Professor Hulk, but I kind of like the trailer. I didn't mind the trailer. Obviously, we've talked about Daredevil. Exciting. One thing though, Wong appears as well, which is good.
He does,
tying everything in. But you cannot be on the edge of the precipice. I don't know who fuck wrote that, right? Precipice is the edge. You can't be on the edge of the edge.
Who says this?
Is it
Wong.
not? Wong. I swear to God, is the precipice not precipice? Very steep. Oh no, it's a very steep rock face. I thought precipice meant edge. I was like, how can you be on the edge of an edge?
So she's on the edge of a very steep rock face.
Yes, that would make more sense than I thought. I was like, precipice of the. Part of my brain went, precipice of the precipice, or the edge of the precipice. Went, how the fuck's that work?
And we're back.
Okay, so I take it back about edge of the precipice. That is a thing. I thought honestly, I heard it and went, that sounds wrong. How can you be on the edge of the like what?
Yeah.
How can you be on the edge of the edge? Oh no, it is actually it's just really, really steep on the edge of like a really, really steep cliff. Anyway, that's
Do you know what
nice.
I'm on the edge of right now? My seat.
I say I stand corrected, as did the man in the orthopedic shoes.
Hey. And I am on the edge of my seat because
4.
John Wick 4 also has a trailer.
Oh.
And I just don't care. I love John Wick. It's great.
See, John Wick is kind of the exact reason why a lot of action films nowadays need to rethink action scenes.
Yeah.
Because if you watch John Wick 1, 2, 3, now, I'm not saying every action scene is great, but the way they're shot and the way they're filmed there's a lot of care and attention put into the stunts. And that goes back to the Grey Man and the one I didn't talk about, which was the Princess, which is basically an idea as if a princess was trapped in a tower and decided to fight her way out. That's basically the film. No joke. That's literally the film. And it was kind of supposed to be like a medieval version of John Wick where she fights everyone with swords.
Oh, okay.
And kind of does John Wick things. But they don't manage it because it's not filmed. It doesn't have the same weight to it that John Wick does. Like everything John Wick does, you feel like, honest to God. Like,
it feels heavy and like aggressive.
I'd hate to watch John Wick in 4DX. Like, what the hell happened there?
Whoa.
Chair.
Just shaking about in your chair, yeah.
Worse than Maverick.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what Maverick would have been like. You can imagine John Wick.
I've heard it was amazing.
Sprays of blood.
Blood everywhere.
Please stop. John Wick, we'll watch.
Absolutely. Looks class.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Luke's class. Chapter 4. Luke's class. Nothing else to add.
No, you all know what you're getting.
we
Moving
know
on to
exactly what
something
we're getting.
that I don't know if it looks class. I think I probably will never see this movie.
I think you will. I think it's kind of, if you got Guardians of the Galaxy vibes.
Yeah.
If you watch it with that idea in mind.
The trailer hasn't sold me.
Fair enough. I think
Which is what it's made for.
Meant to do. The Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves trailer. Obviously, that's the first couple of Dungeons and Dragons films, terrible. But obviously, they're trying to capitalize on its popularity.
Yeah, Stranger Things made it pretty popular.
Stranger Things, the Critical Role people, D20 as well, Dimension 20. Obviously, Tiny Tina's Borderlands game, that was kind of based off of that as well.
Right.
Or that it was based off Dungeons and Dragons world, but obviously the idea of it and then making their own stuff. Obviously, board games and tabletop games and all that, they're all coming very, they're all at their peak of popularity for a long time. Felt very much like Guardians of the Galaxy to me, in terms of the way the trailer's done, the way they're kind of. I think what will make or break this film is the self-referencing in it. They do seem to kind of take the piss out of each other a little bit, which tends to suggest that self-awareness. So they're kind of saying
the fact that it's Dungeons and Dragons.
Just the idea that they're living in a fantasy universe and stuff, and there was things on the lines of at the end where she says, "Yeah, but you're a bot." Like, so she's like, and all you do is play music, or like you're a bard.
Why are you part
That's
of our
kind of-
team?
Yeah, you're a bard class or something. And he's like, just and he plays the lute. Don't just other
Yeah.
like I'm not just a musician. And it's all these things along. Apparently, like never really played it, but I know people were saying it's kind of funny that a lot of these things, because they happen with a group of people, and then obviously people make decisions, and that affects where people go in the game, and the dungeon master will then create the story based on their decisions.
Right.
One of the quotes in the trailer says, "We didn't mean to unleash the greatest evil this world's ever known." And people were going, "Yep, that sounds about right." Like, so it's the classic case of, remember when we did the episode for we're doing the quest?
Oh yeah, we
Eddie
kept
says,
opening doors and killing people.
I immediately start looking for a rock, like a rock switch for a secret passage.
Yeah.
Same thing. But I think stuff like that. Remember, opening the doors and killing everybody before asking questions. That's the sort of thing I think they might reference.
Yeah.
But Michelle Rodriguez's character might walk in and just kill everybody, and he goes, "What are you doing? We need to ask them some questions."
Yeah.
No, we can't. Like, what the hell was that?
I mean, it could be good. I think I'll maybe wait and see how the reviews are.
How it's
How you
written
guys
will be
react to it. Yeah.
I think how it's written will be key, and I think if they can be, like I said, if they can have that awareness of kind of going, why do people with axes always chop people, like always want to kill people?
Yeah.
Like, why? It's like, or something along the lines of, it's like, you're a wizard and you're fucking useless. Like, you know what I mean? Something along those lines. Just those sort of self-reference things, and hopefully they do it in a way that reference wider games and things, so that people can kind of get the idea of stuff like that. So why do you need all that stuff? I'm saving it for later. Okay.
You seem to have really enjoyed the trailer.
More so the idea of the sort of referencing all the games that we play as like a group and stuff, or like RPGs and stuff, like in Skyrim where you pick up everything.
The dialogue seems to be that of gamers rather than people that would you'd expect
I watched Free Guy. I think I said this. I don't know if I said this. I watched Free Guy the other week. Good movie, and I think it works because of kind of the references to the games are very clever. They're on the nose. Also, it is definitely, I don't know if I said this, I'll say it again. It's just the Lego movie. The first half of Free Guy is just the Lego movie redone, which was a great film. So you're not going to go wrong.
Fair enough.
It was an awesome film because everything is awesome. But
especially if you work in a team.
But yeah, same idea. If they can keep you need to hook in people that aren't so interested in it, which they haven't done yet, but it might do with the reviews and stuff. Maybe another trailer. Because they've got a lot of people to please with.
Very true.
And some big names in it as well.
Chris Pine, Miss Rodriguez,
Hugh Grant.
Maybe playing a bad guy.
Oh, I think he loves playing it, but he played a good guy for so many years.
He played the bad guy in The Gentleman, right?
Yes, he played
he was really good.
Schemy guy in The Gentleman.
Yeah.
And then he played what else has he played? He's not a bad guy. Like, I saw he was a bad guy in something like Paddington 2.
Oh, really? I haven't seen any of those.
But I think he revels in the idea of playing these characters.
Because he's been frightful Hugh Grant for so long.
In a film that I think we talked about, but I've not seen it. I think it was a Guy Ritchie film that came out recently with Jason Statham. I think he was like an arms dealer in that. And if you'd said that in the late 90s, early 2000s, Hugh Grant was going to be playing an arms dealer.
Yeah, surely not.
No.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant. In his Henley polo shirt. No, can't be. But here he is, enjoying life. And more the part. I'm happy because, like I said, in The Gentleman, he was phenomenal.
He was really good in that movie. He was great.
So yeah, definitely. Once again, should hopefully help it if he's the baddie.
You know what? After talking about this trailer, I think you've sold me more on it than the trailer
I think if you go, well, it sounds daft. Maybe go back and watch it after.
Yeah, I will.
And just watch it with the idea of like self-reference.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just this idea of, and I also think about Guardians of the Galaxy and you kind of see the pieces fall in. You kind of go, oh, okay, I can see where this is going. So yeah, overall, great trailers this week. I mean, Comic-Con, I forgot Comic-Con was a thing.
Yeah.
We haven't had
me
it for
too.
2 years.
I know. It's always trailers ahoy when Comic-Con comes around.
Trailers ahoy. Between that and E3, it's always the summer. Right after the second.
Yeah, I know. Shall we end it there?
Yes, we shall end it there.
Nice one.
For this.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this week's episode. Remember, you can catch us on all the socials at That's Class Pod, or you can email us at that'sclasspod@gmail.com. New episodes up all at the same time, hopefully on Monday, whenever I find time to upload them, basically. Leave your notification bells on, because it might not be a Monday. And if you want to listen to the next one, you gotta get notified, you know?
Yeah.
Leave us a review, leave us a comment, tell your friends, get them to listen to it as well. A big thank you for listening, because
without you,
like, it's, you know, it's weird, but it's also cool. We'll see you next week. Have a super day.
We will.
Say goodbye, Duncan.
Goodbye, Duncan.
Yes, just end it there. It's fine.
Let's end it there.